Hi, my name is Fawad Zayad, and this is my video for my activities for page 70 and 71. I'm going to go ahead and put you through my thought process on all of the activities. The first one was the incomplete figure activity, which was to give myself 5 minutes to create something from it. So I saw this little this little thing, and it reminded me of the little fronds on a jester hat. So I decided to go with that idea, and I just made a little halfway point and shaded this in, and then made it the same thing for 3 ones. And the reason I thought it was a frond on a jester hat too was because there's this little dot here. So I decided to add that to these 3, and I named this one Jester's hat. For divide the figure, this one was pretty easy. I just took a ruler and I drew a line here, drew a line here, drew a line here, and that let me cut these 2 in half and then create the entirely new box from scratch just by using the ruler. I felt the counter problem was a little bit vague on what exactly it wanted. It said it wanted a cardboard box of thumbtacks, matches, and a candle. So there's a few things, depending on what exactly they meant by attach the candle to the wall, there's a few ways that this could be solved. The first way was to have like a corner wall. So for example, I have a wall here, and then I have a wall coming out from the corner, let's say. Let's see, actually, let's make that more like a book. No, that's gonna be wrong. Let's try this again. Okay, and the idea was that you would take you would take the cardboard box and place the cardboard box itself onto the 2 corners like this, like that, and essentially have like 4 sets of supports onto the walls themselves with the thumbtacks, and then place the candle on top. And then put the candle on top of that cardboard box. So emptying that cardboard box out and using it as a shield so that it doesn't drip down onto the table below. In the case that they wanted the candle attached directly to the wall, then I would have done the same thing, attaching the cardboard box to the wall, but also physically attaching the candle using the thumbtacks, like piercing through the candle, using the thumbtacks and into the wall. Although I feel like that might be too difficult, so maybe piercing 2 thumbtacks underneath the candle like so. Or 3 thumbtacks, and using it as a little platform. And then in the case of the lead masks, that one was just about reading this case study over here about 2 young men. And from the evidence, I decided that the most likely scenario was that the 2 men had essentially committed unintentional suicide. They had expected to meet aliens, but unfortunately, they did not end up meeting any aliens, and they had committed suicide by accident. So De Cruz and Viana expected to meet someone. They did expect to meet an alien. This one, if someone is meant to be a non-alien person, then that one could either be false, or actually that one can either be false or it could be probably true but false. I assume that someone meant an alien, but if someone just means a human person, then I would say false. They had a note. They lied about going to buy a car, and they kept checking their watches before the time. And the note said to meet them somewhere. They expected to encounter some form of radiation. True, they wore radiation goggles. De Cruz and Viana were conducting an experiment. So yes, they were conducting an experiment. They took a lot of time to prepare those masks. They essentially had called off the regular work they had done, and they also had the note that they were expecting to face some form of radiation. They were in a violent fight is false because they had no trauma on their bodies. De Cruz and Viana were murdered during a robbery is also false. They were not murdered during the robbery. I think what ended up happening was that they had passed away after taking the pills, and their bodies were looted after they had died. And this looting was done by an unknown third party because the investigation evidence here says that Jorge da Costa, who found the bodies, had not touched either man before the evidence was found. And then capsules killed them unintentionally for number 6. Da Costa and Viana intentionally killed themselves. I do not believe this was intentional. They showed no signs of suicidal intent. For number 7, Da Cruz and Viana expected to meet aliens on Vinton Hill. That is true. The location they went to was known for having aliens. And then finally, were Da Cruz and Viana killed by aliens? I put not enough evidence, and that depends if you believe in aliens or not. I believe they were killed by poison, but the toxicology was inconclusive, so their cause of death would be not enough evidence. So I hypothesized that both men unintentionally killed themselves and were robbed by a passerby. The reasoning is that they had money before leaving, they had no money when the bodies were found, and Jorge C. was shown to not have stolen from the bodies. The victims lied about their intentions, went to a place known for having aliens, and consumed an unknown substance before dying. The additional questions I'd want the answers to is who stole the money, because I think if it wasn't Jorge, then who was it? And then what was the UFO that the woman and her kids saw?